In this video, I get sent an Narnia by a Ferrari. And what happens here? Because I get a 2-second penalty. Hello everyone and welcome to another Gran Turismo video. Now I'm going to give you some tips in this video as well to discuss how this race could be improved. First up, a tip if you are doing this race, fuel map 6 straight away the second you get to your car. So AI is still controlling it, whether you can control the fuel maps. Put it to fuel map 6, you will save yourself some fuel, and trust me, you do need to save every percentage you can, or liters if you want to call it liters, because it's that as well, as we head around the last corner then, and about to start this race then. So I'm going to do a few things in this video. I'm going to try and pit as well in this video, just to see if pit stopping will work, but it is heavily a fuel saving race, and obviously if we're doing the no stop, you stay on the hard tire. If you are going to stop, you use the soft tire to really try and maximize the performance of the car. Down the inside of the Jaguar F-Type, we go of Velasco then in towards turn 1. They're going to hang it around the outside still. Beautiful defensive move there by Velasco as we head in towards this right-hander for the first time of asking as we go through here. So I'm trying to go for a little bit of a cut back here as I continue on through. Now, you don't want to over-rev the car too much. As you see here, I'm going for the 3/4. You do want to use the fuel where necessary to try and overtake, and I would advise against doing what I'm doing right now, which is using fuel at the start of the race, because we're sort of stuck in this pack up ahead anyway. Me overtaking the Jaguar isn't going to really change that much as we head down in towards this left-hander. Only 8 laps of fuel remaining. We've still got 9.5 laps to go, so it's not working out so far as we continue on through here. But I'd already decided I was going to pit in this race and fill up, so I am using a bit more here as I go into the left. I'm just trying to save a bit so I don't have to fill up as much in the pit stop. So you see the Jaguar's got through on the Ferrari up ahead here, and again I'm sort of stuck here in the middle of no man's land as I look down the inside. Not going to work here, so I'll back out of this. Oh, a little bit of oversteer there. We don't want any of that. And you'll have noticed that I'm not using the Mazda 3 from the weekly race guide. I'm using the Ferrari. As we know, the Ferrari is one of the best fuel savers in the game in terms of Group 4. I did a video on fuel saving. If you haven't seen that video, it's worthwhile checking out. I'll link it at the end of this video. It explains fuel in detail in terms of Gran Turismo and how to save it. As I got really pushed out there, and they tried to turn in on me on that corner. I wasn't having any of that. I'm keeping my line as we continue on through. But yeah, I've run out a little bit there and then forced on the inside as we continue to lap 2 then on the long right-hander. Of course, I have done the weekly race guide as well, which I'll also link at the end of this video. So 2 videos that will be available at the end of this video to check out, which should help you with this race. But these are some additional tips that I can offer you during this video. So obviously the first one was, even before you begin the rolling start, put fuel map 6 on, save some fuel. Don't let the AI use your fuel, you know. As we see Manga there hit the other French driver as we continue on through then, so we gain a position. But look at our rear view mirror. 3 Ferraris all looking for a way past here. And as we go into this brake zone, the red Ferrari just absolutely slams into us. That was Cedric there. So Manga and Cedric, yeah, I'm not fans of you at the moment, I'm afraid, because, yeah, well, Manga was the one who hit Cedric and Cedric was the one who hit me. And I haven't done anything wrong. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to come in the pits because I'm losing time hand over fist here as we go into the pits. In terms of pit stop length, it is huge. It's like 40 seconds. It's mental how long you pit. Sorry, not 40, 30 seconds. And there we have it, folks. You've not seen it in a while. Live streaming will be returning soon, I promise you. But me counting the laps on my fingers, I haven't done it in a while. There you have it. So we go to lap 7. It's pretty boring on your own. You're just going around the track. The leader was on soft tires. They come out on hard tires, but they forget one thing: refuel. So they're going to leave this race very quickly when they realize that they hit the do not refuel button very quickly. And yeah, they've gone, because they definitely wouldn't have made it to the end on 21% liters or percentage of fuel. Into the right hand, there we go. We're just getting purples after purples here. And Cedric has been off the circuit up ahead. So we are going to get a bit of a refund there in terms of position as we go past Cedric. And we are catching up to this Lexus, who's been struggling all throughout the race then. And we're going to get a good run on this Lexus then as we head towards left-hander. We're on the soft tyres. We need to get ahead of these cars as fast as possible. We can do these turns so much quicker. So if we do stay behind, it's going to cost us. And that's one thing you'll notice in this race, actually. There's a lot of weird driving. I'm going to say weird driving, where people are being aggressive and overly aggressive where they don't need to be. Going to have a look around the outside of Manga, though, as we go through this left-hander. And as we go through here, they just open up the steering and sort of weren't going to give any room. So you see me shake my head there because that's not really nice racing. I'm flashing my lights there because I disapprove of something like that. What's the point in doing that? I'm not too sure. We've got DPD there. making a mistake, going a bit wide on the left-hander. DPD making a mistake. That's not quite uncommon in the slightest, is it? as we go around the outside of that driver then, and we are up to P11. Yeah, I'm not too happy with Manga there after running me out wide, but here we go. We're going to try it again then. We're obviously on a soft tyre. We've got plenty more grip here, so we can outbrake them into corners as we go through this left-hander. That was a good defense, that one. That was fair play by Manga as we go through the left and then into the right. So I'm looking to try and get past before the end here. It is the final lap. I am on soft tyres, and after the earlier incidents, I just want to get past them. So they go instantly towards the right then, so I'm going to go around the outside then, or hopefully, but I just don't quite do that as we go into the braking zone. And we slow it down, and through the right we go. So at this moment, I'm like, frustration. Frustration after being run off earlier on. Let's go through this final corner then. We get a good run on Manga. We go towards that right-hand side. They run out of fuel, and we get that position at the end. And yeah, I was thinking, in your face is what I was thinking at the time. I will say that much there. That was the first race done, so I thought, okay, well, let's try a pit lap 1, see if that's any better in terms of getting through the field, and that's what I'm going to try in this race. Once again, I'm using that same little tip that I said earlier on. Before the rolling start even begins, put it to fuel map 6, as I look down the inside of Miraculous then, going into lap 1, and very much into sector 2 already. There's no point showing you the rolling start. Can be quite boring at times. And there's a nice little tip for you. Tip number 2, should I say. So if you're behind somebody approaching a corner, you're not going to go for the move, whack it into the highest gear as quick as possible. Now, I have mentioned with fuel before, fuel, in terms of how it's burnt in Gran Turismo, it's based on the rev range. So if you're high in the revs, you're going to burn a lot more fuel than if you're low in the rev range. And that's why fuel map is actually the worst way to save fuel. Short shifting is actually much better because you don't lose that much performance. And as you see here, going to this left-hander, we have made the move on Miraculous this time. But if you are behind somebody, just whack it up into the highest gear possible. You're not going to lose that much time, and you will save so much fuel. As up ahead, we've got somebody, got Lenny Boy off there as we continue on through this right-hander. Oh, the Genesis has gone. Oh, they caught it. They caught it. Oh, it's all kicking off up ahead. Sentry's involved again as we continue towards the chicane then. Oh, the Genesis has launched it down the inside. Well, I don't want to be any part of this, and I was going to pit on lap 1 anyway, so let's head into the pits, and yeah, we're going to see if pitting on lap 1 at least gives us a good race. Lap 5, we catch up to Nutty Nugget, who's had a bit of an issue there. Also a 1-second penalty as we continue on out of here down towards this left-hander. And I thought they were leaving the open there for me for a second, that inside line, but I think they just went a bit deep, so I do apologise for absolutely sending it there, but I thought you were letting me go, so yeah, I think that's more my bad. Space was there, you were aware as well, so we continue on through, but yeah, bit of a misunderstanding, I would say. We catch up to Cedric on lap 7 with a penalty this time, going through the left-hander, and we're going to get a good run on them here, so we're going to send it up that right-hand side very quickly indeed. Now, if I was them, I would have let off here, so this is going to cost us both a lot of time here, because they're going to be offline, and they're still on the inside line, having to give them space as well. But taking the penalty, and you are on the slower tyre, I would have let off there personally. But you can do what you like in a race, so I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that's what I would have done. As we go down the inside of Miraculous, who does lift off there, knowing what was coming there. Potentially could have gone to that racing line to save a bit of time. But yeah, Miraculous not fighting that because they know I'm on the soft compounder tyre. So we're on the final lap once again, so you don't really get that much racing action if you do change to softs. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate here. And unfortunately for the automatic drivers, they have to pit, and they have to pit on like lap 4. It's not good for the automatic drivers as they go a bit deep here, overtaking the Finnish driver. Then in towards the left we go. We do keep that position just here. They're having a bit of a nosy down that inside line, but no, we're going to keep that for now. So yeah, the automatic drivers, this is a dreadful race for those guys because they can't race. They literally can't race. They have to skip this race. It's impossible for them to have a good race because, yes, I pit on lap 1 and I'm doing it, but I still have to short shift to get it to the end. They can't short shift on automatic. It's quite bad. And I was tempted to do a race on automatic. Do let me know if you want me to see how it does or how well I can do on automatic in this race. I would be actually maybe interested not to. What the heck is going on up ahead? Casanova there, literally having a bit of a go at the Austrian driver then as we go into the left-hander. The guy up ahead did pit from softs onto hard tyres. We go around the outside of both of them. 2 for 1. I do love those kind of moves. So up into P7 as we're looking to catch up to the P6 driver up ahead then. We advance towards the final couple of corners where Bet Racing is up ahead on the hard tyre. Potentially struggling for fuel. I know I'm struggling for fuel now at this moment. Pitting on lap 1. I did fill up to 100 again. That's what I do in all the pit stops because I might as well as we continue on out of here then and through the right-hander we go. We're going to head towards that line then. Is Bet Race going to have enough fuel? Is he going to keep the position? Yes, they are. They do keep that position. Well played to Bet Racing. And how far are we off there? That's a 19:26 race time. We're going to keep that in mind as we go forward then. Let's go to race number 3. And this one, we are going to go for the long haul line. We're going to do a non-stop on the hard tyre, and straight into the race we go. So I chose 7,500 revs in terms of when to shift here. Now, obviously, if you're on a different camera and you can't see that rev range, you're going to have to use your ears for that one, because the red bar doesn't even show on the screen. But that was my choice of rev range, and it does seem to work out very well. So that's tip number 3 for you. If you are in the Ferrari doing this race, 7,500 revs seems to be quite a good area to save fuel in. But then, obviously, if you're going to overtake somebody, use that little bit more. So you can see here, I'm looking down the inside of that Supra then as we head towards the right-hander, using a tiny bit more revs then as we go into the braking zone. And the Supra's still looking around the outside. Good little effort here to try and defend it, but on foot to the floor. Through I go then, up into P13 as we head down towards the left-hander here. And we've got Bruno Mia up ahead in another Ferrari. We've got the Mazda 3 in here. I'm surprised that Mazda 3 isn't being used more, actually, in this race. The Ferrari obviously showing it is a bit too strong then. And you can see there that tip that I said earlier on, just go to maximum gear, save a bit of fuel, because then you can use the fuel when you want to overtake. You're obviously not wanting to do it now, so once again, up the gears to 7th gear as we go up to this corner. You know, these little bits do count, as Bruno absolutely sent it there, pushes the Mazda 3 out wide. We got Dirty Rama with a penalty as well. They won't be taking it this time. But as we head down into this left-hander, everybody is absolutely everywhere. Bruno goes left. I hit Miraculous there as I try. Couldn't really do much there. People slowing down here, there, and everywhere. I have no idea whether I've gained or lost out there, but I do get a 2-second penalty. I have no idea what for. I mean, you could argue it's fair because I did hit Miraculous, but a 2-second penalty with no explanation. I really wish to change this, so just put the explanation. We know there must be one because you've given it me. Just write the red text there, because normally we get one that says hit another car. Normally get one for track limits, but this one's just like a blanket one. It's like it's still stuck in there from GT Sports. I'm not too sure. But even so, we have a 2-second penalty, so we continue on through here. What we are going to do is going to fast forward towards the end of the straight, of course, because it's just fuel saving on that straight. And down the inside, Miraculous goes on the Supra. That Supra gets oversteered, then through the left I go. Oh, a bit of a tag up ahead as well. But we are now behind Miraculous. We do gain another position for now as we continue on through this right-hander. And that Supra does struggle a little bit on this corner. We did notice that earlier on when we got on the inside of that Supra. And you see there, using that tip. Again, it's a good tip. I highly recommend you do that. If you're not planning to overtake and you're not in real defense of anything, whack it up to the highest gear. Honestly, it will save you some fuel, and you will need that in the long run, trust me, to overtake people. Looking down this left-hander, I wasn't trying to go for it here. I was trying to more defend from the Supra, but Miraculous broke early. I'm sorry, trying not to send it there. But we go to a little bit later on where I've taken this penalty now. Down the inside, I didn't mean to go for that. It was just all a bit slow and clumsy, should we say. So, yes, we are now down in P15 with a lot of work to do in this race. Remember, we are no stopping this one. And we'll see the time compared to the 19:26 earlier on that we got. So looking down the inside of the R4M driver from Finland in the Mazda 3. And we get that job done. So we are now up to P14, and with a lot of work to do, but a lot of cars up ahead as well, so we can get that work done. Let's advance to lap number 3 then, same place here, but a long train of cars all grouped together again, because that's what happens in a fuel-saving race. Everybody groups up together because they want to save fuel, and we get a good run on Nutty Nugget here. Around the outside of the Ferrari driver we go, and that is another position gain then as we head towards turn number 1. My doorbell went at this moment. If you're wondering why I'm looking down, that is to check my doorbell as we head in towards turn 1. The Supra up again ahead. Feels like deja vu this, bearing in mind we did this on lap 1 or 2 where the Supra was just ahead, and then Bruno ahead of them. Anyway, in towards the right we go. And as I said earlier on, this Supra seems to struggle a little bit on this right-hander. Seems to be able to carry a lot more speed than the Supra. Can I do it this time? Not quite, but I am gaining fairly quickly here. Again, I really need to do my own technique there. I'm not using my own advice that time. I should have gone to 7th gear as I go into this right-hander. I think Lorero there just let off a little bit with a slight tap from Bruno. So we're going to go down the outside of the Supra then. In towards left-hander we go. And they're going to go into Bruno then as we try around the outside of the Supra. Do we get it done? That is the question. No, we're still side by side then as we head towards this left-hander. Very hard to defend on the outside. They've got an inside move done here. I tried the outside line, but no, that's a good defense there from the Toyota Supra driver. So we're still stuck here at the moment in the middle of this fight as we go into the right-hander. Can we get a good run out of this corner? The Ferrari is a bit quicker than that Supra in a straight line. And, oh, the Supra's going for the move down the inside. Oh, we've got a good run here as well. Looks like it's going to be 3 wide, heading in towards the left-hander. Then we go. I sort of back out of this because I know the Ferrari driver's still there. And, you know, I just thought I don't want to cause a crash here. So I did back out of that, which I think is pretty fair from me, to be fair. I did have a right to the corner. I was on the inside line, but I'm sort of aware I'm racing people who potentially might not be as aware. Not that I'm insulting them in any way. But, yeah, I was sort of like, okay, I'll back out of this and we'll fight another day. So we're going to head in towards the chicane here. And slow it down. Oh, Bruno nearly to the back of the Supra then. As we go into this right-hander, I'm looking for the run out of the chicane. And that's what I get here. Down the inside of Bruno I go. I don't think they realise I am there. But through I go up into P11. That is a good little move that I would highly advise you do if you do get slipstream up ahead as well. That little cutback. Because a lot of people try and get over the sausage and just completely mess it up. Down the inside of the Supra, once again in the same place. This is the 3rd time of asking try and get this done. So can we do it this time then? As I go through this right-hander, we've got JMJ Bone up ahead. They go defensive then in towards the left-hander. And as we go into here, the Supra hits the Ferrari here. So we're going for a little bit of a cutback then, as we're going to get a little bit of a tap there from the Supra behind. And we do get that position. And the Supra gets it as well. I'd argue you need to give that back. You did hit the Ferrari off. As we advance to lap number 8, where we catch up to the next pack, where Miraculous is as well. Like, we've been racing Miraculous this entire race, it feels. As we go through this right-hander, though, we've got the French driver first. Aspect Gregory. I'm not too sure how to pronounce that one. But we're looking on the inside of that yellow Ferrari then. As we head towards turn 1. They've got a bit of slipstream here, so that speed will be catching up, but they are short shifting like I am. So am I going to send it? That's the question. In towards turn 1 we go side by side, and they give me room. They're still aware I'm there, which is good awareness. As we go through this left-hander, they still give me room here. Just got my nose in there as I go into this right-hander. There's a slight tap, but I'm on the inside line. I can't really do much else there as I clip the curb and continue on through, finally up to P7 then. But can we catch up to Miraculous? That is the question. Oh, he's having a look down the inside line there, but not going to do it. That would have been a 2.5 if he went for that, the French driver. But no, we go to the final lap there, where we get to the end here. 0% fuel. What's the time there? 18 seconds on a 14. Actually, that's a bit of a slower race there with all that action. So maybe soft tyres would have been better in that situation. I do know a hard non-stop is the faster one, especially if you're starting in the lead, to be fair. But yes, I've just gone to this here because I feel like ×9 is too much. We've talked about high multipliers before in this game, and I did a Dear Gran Turismo video ages ago where I talked about high multipliers. They just basically reject a load of cars from being even in the race because they can't compete. And what I would rather see is them using this here, the initial fuel level. Put us to like 20%, 25%, maybe enough where you can fuel save and maybe get to the end, or you can pit and go flat out, and maybe you've got to add 3-4 liters of fuel and then you can make it to the end. Something like that would actually give a lot more to the race and a lot more strategy to the race, because you could pit early, you could pit a little bit later, you're sort of undercutting, you're sort of judging things a little bit better. I feel like this isn't used, and I feel like it needs to be used. I really, really, really do. Gran Turismo, if you watch this, use this, try it out. I bet you it works out because we've done it before on the channel. That's going to be it for this video then, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, stay in touch with all the latest content. A big thank you for watching and supporting as always as we get ever closer to that 40,000 subscribers. Thank you once again, and I hope to see you in another video or live stream again very soon.